What are the elements that are included in a fully notated score, and how do you prepare for the process of documentation?
For the process of documentation, if you're doing established work like Chair Pillow is, the notator really has a lot of burden on him or her to get your research done. And so you really need to come into the studio or the reconstruction process knowing what that work is about. Hopefully you've been able to see different videos or films, or you've seen it in performance somewhere else, and you come in with a lot of knowledge already. In the case of a new work, you would need to know what the choreographer's style is, and kind of know some of the past works that he or she has done, because you need to come in with some sort of idea of what might happen in your head. And with Chair Pillow, we had seen it performed. There was an original notation of the short phrase that was in pencil form, not in the computer. And so we had an idea of what the actual analysis was already on the page. And so when Pat came, she was able to clarify about 11 different points that we had some questions about. And then with Yvonne here, we were able to actually say the students walk in carrying, the stage left students are carrying that chair in the right hand and the seat in the left hand, and they unfold it. And so she was able to precisely set what she wanted. And she was even able to set a bow. So not only do you have symbols that indicate what the movement is, but then in a finished score, it's the responsibility to put in who the original cast was, where it was first performed, how long it is, where you can find the music, which is sometimes hard. A little bit about the choreographer, if the choreographer is not well known. Props, costuming, description of the work, any sort of director's notes. What do future directors need to know about this work? And performers' notes. What do the dancers need to know as performers to do? So when Pat set the work, she gave him an exercise, go over and pick up your bag and come back, and now just sit down and get something out of your backpack. And so the students did that, and they were done. And then she says, okay, that's exactly how you're supposed to perform the work. And so in the case of that, you just write that down and say, as a performer, try this out, and then that type of motivation and effort is what's required to do Chair Pillow. So you really need to make sure that you've done your work as a notator, that you give enough information but not too much, because you don't want to overburden the future readers and dancers. And then on the back side of that, as a director or a reconstructor, however you want to think of it, you need to have some idea of the style and what was going on in the world at that time, what the context is, how that choreographer thought about the work, if it's possible to know those things. You don't just pick up a score and go, oh, I'm going to read the symbols and do it. You need to know what it is that helps shape the whole entire work and where it fits within the context of the dance field and within the context of the world. So
it sounds like a big job.
It is. It's a big job.